All right, I have the culprit here. This is the Wi-Fi repeater that I got from eBay, I believe, a couple years ago. Um, yes, I could go back to eBay and buy me another one, which was only like 13 bucks at the time. I don't know if they still even sell them or they're even at the same price or what the deal is, but I would like to fix it instead because, like I mentioned in my previous videos, I'm moving pretty soon, and I don't see a reason why I should get rid of this bad boy right here. Especially because even if it's cheap, it works. It provides the security enough, that I need, and I don't see a reason why getting rid of it. The problem that I have with this guy is this right here. So if you notice, it has this connector and it swivels on the back. The problem with this thing is it comes, it's pretty nifty because, for example, if I have it connected right here, see if you can see, I won't be able to because this won't allow me to. So you can swivel the thing so we're to the point where you can connect it sideways like this and it'll fit. And the problem with that is, it's just that it doesn't work. It just half the time it doesn't connect right. And I think it has a lot to do with the fact that when you put it in, there, you can rock it back and forth and it moves a little. Yeah, you can hear the movement right here. So that little movement is enough to break the connection, and it just annoying as hell. So it also has something loose in there, but I'm not worried about it right now. What I'm going to try to do is see if I can solder some regular AC cables to it, straight to the back of the unit. Right here. Maybe I can solder some cables straight to this little thingies right here, and then super glue it so it doesn't come loose or it doesn't touch the plastic part right here, and hopefully that'll work. A couple of my devices here in my garage feed off of this repeater, so I really need to fix it. So all right guys, let's dive into this.
Yep, right here. I gotta be careful with this screwdriver because this thing.
Alright, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring another screwdriver.
Alright. Just tend to stick it in there and slide it off. I have no idea if this is glued together. I don't know if it's...
Alright, this is broken. I have no idea how any of this stuff works, but I know it's broken. There was a lot of plastic pieces that were broken. And I don't know, I guess this is the reset button. Yeah, I have no idea where all these came from. And it's not salvageable. All right, so I get no LEDs turn on, so this thing is absolutely dead. What I'm going to do is, this is the AC, turns the power board to, or this is the power board, and it turns the AC to DC. So what I'm going to do is figure out how much power this thing takes, and see if I can apply DC directly to this thing, and hopefully that'll fix the problem. All right. So before I went ahead and go forward with this project, I needed to see if when I connect this, I'm going to test DC voltage in here to see if it actually is getting DC voltage. If it is getting DC voltage, then obviously the thing is wired up correctly and it does work, the PC, the power board. And then the problem might be the actual board itself. So let's see how that goes. I got 0 voltage, DC voltage, and I'm going to test this guy, and I'm getting 2.4 volts. Extremely low. I don't think this thing can operate at a 2.4 volts. So let's try that again. Yep, 2.4 volts. Okay, so it seems like I fixed it for now. So a little bit of what happened was that the old power supply that came with it was only outputting 2.3 volts on this guy. And I thought that was weird because I've never seen anything run at 2.3 volts. So, but I would hook it up to my power supply at 3.3 volts and it'll make the whole power supply shut down for some reason. And I thought that was weird. So I hooked it up again with 3.3 volts, but this time I had this little button pressed. I guess it's the reset button, and it lit up. The LED started lighting up again. But as soon as I hooked up the LAN cable to it, it'll shut down again. And it made me realize that it wasn't 3.3 volts wasn't enough to supply the internet through the cable. It just wasn't enough power. So I hooked it up again to my 5 volts. See, 5 volts. And it's working. I got it hooked up to my computer, and as you guys can see right here, I have it's working. As I'm working. I'm connected to it on the LAN cable and as the on the Wi-Fi. So it has enough juice, and I also have my cell phone connected to it on the Wi-Fi. So it has enough power now to, and it's been on for the full day. So I think we're safe to say that we fixed it. So we're going to put it back together. We're going to make some adjustments to it. Like I said, I'm going to take this power supply and disassemble it and then use this to power this. So yeah, let's do that. have some damage right here, and on the resistor on the inside of right there. Hopefully it'll still work. Finally. Okay, so I hope I never, ever, ever have to take one of these off again. It was a complete nightmare, and it's still not a crazy fit. But if I put it in like this, it might just work. Now, it has some damage right here. It's very, very small. There's a little hole in here, but I don't think it'll matter. But anyways, I still have to test it out before it goes in the case. So let's solder some cables into it, and we can test it out that way. So I have it soldered up, and let's see if it doesn't blow up. Well, good. It didn't blow up. So we got to get in this 4 little contacts up here. Right by where it says R13. We need to check to see if we got voltage in there. 5 volts. Okay, so after blowing up a power supply and drilling through another power supply, I figured, okay, so I'm not gonna find a power supply that fits perfectly in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to attach a USB cable to it, directly to it. Okay, and that way I can make this guy more portable than what it is. So let's try that. So first I'm going to drill a hole through here, and hopefully I can pass the USB cable through there. I'm gonna need a bigger hole. Boom. Okay, that'll prevent the every time you do something like this, remember to do that, because you don't want, matter of fact, let me put some on this side too. You do not want the cord, when you yank on the cord, you don't want it to come off. And I usually do this with hot glue, but I'm testing this E6000 glue on plastics and cables to see how it works. Every time you try to test something out, make sure you do it with electronics that you don't really care too much about if they get messed up. So in this case, this thing being only 10, 12, 13 bucks, I don't care too much for it. It does take forever for that thing to settle. It takes about 24 hours, it says in there, but it's okay. So what we're going to do now, while that thing dries up, we're going to, I don't think that I need this connector to be there. So we're just going to solder directly into the board. I don't see myself, once I put this bad boy together, I don't see myself opening it up again, ever. So if it gets messed up, I'm just going to throw it in the trash. So that's why I'm making this connections final. And at the same time, I'll remove this, and now I have a nice little connector for future projects. So let me wait for my soldering iron to heat up. Okay, so the soldering iron should be hot enough. Let's take this out. Pretty close together, so what I'm going to do is get some solder in soldering iron. And just try to pry it out. Not usually this hard, but I'm trying to get the camera to catch it, and I'm trying not to burn myself. All right, let's put some more solder in there because it's not working out. I need something to pry it out. I'm just gonna use my tiny screwdriver here. It's great. I use it for everything but a screwdriver. You've ever had that tool, man, when you use it for everything but? That's this guy right here. Usually when you have stuff like this, if the board was heavy enough, you can just simply hold it like this, hit it with the soldering iron, and the weight of the board itself, or the components, will pry it out itself. But this one is really light, so I can't do that with this one. I'm just going to pull on the actual cable. There we go. Yep. Salvage components, man. You never know when you're gonna need them. see nothing. Right, not sure if we have a good connection right there. We should be. We should be having a nice little connection. But all right, let's test it out before we do anything else. Let's see if it powers it up. And we have LEDs, so that is a go. All right, so it works. I put some hot glue in here to make sure that leads don't come out whenever I'm trying to stuff all this cable in there. I usually cut cable. I don't like to have this much cable into my projects. You know, I do enough cable to get the job done. But in this case, since we removed the power supply, we have all of this space here that we can work with. So I can just stuff the cable in there. It shouldn't be an issue. All right, so let's stuff it in there, see how it goes. Okay, power up test. Hopefully it doesn't blow. Nope. No lights. Oh, actually, yeah, the lights are on. The light of the flash of the camera just doesn't let you see it. I don't know if all right, so with the flash off, yeah, you can see a little light coming on and stuff. So it works. Great. Yay. So actually, this turned out to be good. The reason why I say this, well, this is basically the same device as it was before. It's just that instead of plugging into a wall outlet, it plugs into USB. So we just removed the power board that was on the inside, and now we have it on the outside. But this wasn't on purpose, but at the same time, I kind of did good because, for example, I've always used this Wi-Fi repeater in my garage, right? And yeah, as such, for this same computer back when I used to download stuff. So it was always a pain in the butt because for downloading, you need all the bandwidth you can get in. So instead of Wi-Fi, you want to have a LAN cable, you know. What happened is that I was never able to get it close together, or get it close enough to the computer so I can use the LAN cable. It was impossible. I needed a super long cable, and I just hate all the hassle. But now I don't need a wall outlet. The computer itself can power it on. The computer itself can power it, and I can plug it right here, right, and it's right next to the computer. So it's turned out to be a good project. Okay, so yeah, and it looks kind of cool just sitting like this, kind of a desktop type of stuff. I don't know, it just looked cool to me. Alrighty, see you next time.